Right now in the studios, we have two veterans that we are going to actually have a discussion with right here. One is Biodun Awwal, and he's the National Coordinator, REMENAF. And REMENAF is the Retired Members of Nigeria Armed Forces. And of course, he's the National Spokesperson, Coalition of Concerned Veterans. And he's right here in the studio with us to discuss this very important day. And also, we have Dr. Awwal Abdullahi Aliyu, and he's our Secretary General, Veteran Federation of Nigeria, and of course the General Secretary North, Coalition of Concerned Veterans. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us here.
All right. So I think I'll start from my immediate right, Dr. Awwal Abdullahi. January 15th, how significant is this day?
Well, thank you very much, and then thank you once again for having us here, and good morning, Nigerians. January 15th is the day Nigeria set aside to remember the fallen heroes. Those fallen heroes are those that fought for Nigeria and for the protection of lives and property, for the continuity, for peaceful coexistence of Nigeria, and they paid the supreme sacrifice. These heroes died at various engagements, some during the Nigerian Civil War, which is the most significant as far as Nigeria is concerned. Others die in collaboration with other countries where Nigeria has contributed within Africa and even, if you like, the world. Even during the First World War, Nigeria was part of it. The Second World War, Nigeria was part of it. All other international engagements that the United Nations were involved, and Nigeria was also part of it. Not just part of it, but prominently part of it. And then coming back home, apart from the Civil War, you are also aware that we had so many issues, from the Bakassi Peninsula issue to the Boko Haram insurgency to the banditry, which are most recently declared as a terrorist, as well as the other challenges of successionist challenges presently going on, from the Odua Republic, so to say, to the IPOB, Eastern Security Network, which killings are continually, and the same members of the Nigerian Armed Forces are the ones engaged in trying to make sure that Nigeria continue to remain as one country with one destiny under God. So it is the responsibility of the armed forces to do that, protection of territorial integrity of Nigeria against external aggression. So this day is so significant because we are remembering, or the nation is remembering, those heroes that fought gallantly in the national interest, for the unity, like I said, for togetherness, for love, for peace, and then for continuity of Nigeria as one nation. You cannot have it better than you are doing it. Though it could be better, but you cannot just forget these fallen heroes for their contribution to the nation, and also the significance also of what they did is what is making us sit here today and we are discussing it. Otherwise, without the performance and the contribution of those heroes whom have fought and then paid their supreme sacrifice, we wouldn't have been here. But that is not to say that we, the living ones, are also supposed to be celebrated. We are as well being celebrated. If you go, the President and Commander-in-Chief would personally lay the wreath of honor and respect to the fallen heroes, and also goes to all the other senior government officials, as well as the head of the security agencies, that is the service chief. So it is an issue more like trying to say thank you for what you have done, thank you for being part of Nigeria's peace, unity and development, and thank you for keeping the country together. Not only also that we celebrate the dead ones among us, like I said, the living ones also needed to be celebrated and also needed to be recognized. Today is supposed to be a day of pronouncement for the welfare and the well-being of those of us that are still surviving. If you go out there, you find a lot of us that have fought and then or served and left this job, or have fought in various engagements. Most of us are bedridden. Some of us are, cannot are on wheelchairs. Some have various kind of sicknesses, and then so the welfare and well-being of the living ones also is very paramount and very important for the government to look into.
Okay, all right. Now, on that same note, while we talk about honoring those who have fallen, we are also remembering those who are with us, and are still serving. And on that, I will throw the question to Biodun. How well are we doing in honoring those who are still with us? If you take a look at, yes, we have the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, which is more like a tradition now. It's more like a ritual. The president comes, lay the wreath, and then at the end of the day, everyone disappears and all of that. But the widows are still there, and all of that. How well are we doing in making sure that the welfare of those that have fallen is being, taken seriously?
Thank you. Thank you once again for having us here. Let me quickly say here that if you've been following events, you would have seen us last week protesting, both at the Ministry of Finance as well as the Ministry of Defense. And of course, there was a reason why we had to come out. It has to do with our welfare and general well-being. Like my colleague had already spoken, a lot needs to be done for those of us that are very lucky to have survived all the challenges. And well, there's room for improvement, like you would observe. We have quite a number of our members who are, like you said, bedridden, in various state of health challenges. And we did all we could to seek the audience with those in authority. But then we didn't get audience, and we had to come out, on protest last week. And part of the issues that are on the front burner, of course, we had the issue of, or rather, we have the issue of 24 months of arrears that has not been paid to us. I mean, these are people who had staked their lives, to ensure that this country is what it is today. And like we keep saying, if there's any segment of the society that must not be taken for granted, it is those of us who are still surviving today, because we've been able to surmount all the challenges and ensure that even those that are serving now, are encouraged to put in their best. But of course, with the way we're being treated, it is very obvious that those that are still serving will not be encouraged to put in their best. I mean, looking back at those of us who had served and then at the end of the day were being abandoned, it will dampen their enthusiasm to put in the best. They are, as we speak, some of them are in the front line in the Northeast. He just talked about the insurgency and whatever you have it in the Southeast, all over the country. These people are engaged in ensuring that there is peace in this nation. And of course, if there's no peace, we won't be here discussing this issue. No business will function under, when a nation is in a very terrible security, has a very terrible security challenges. No nation will survive. And so we are saying that our welfare should be topmost. With all due respect to members of the parliament, they make the law, but you can imagine how much they take home. But look at the retirees, those of us that have retired. We are the ones that have made this country what it is, right? And including those that are serving. So if there is any, like I said earlier, if there are people in the society that needs to be taken good care of, it is those of us. That's how this country.
Okay, now, do you think that probably government is overwhelmed with the current security situation that we have, in the country that they are dealing with, and which is why maybe they are not paying enough attention to, people like you who have served? We've also, if I may marry this question with the initial one, we've also heard about, engaging members of the reserve, just like you, maybe recalling them back to the service, looking at the, nature of security situation that we are dealing with at the moment. Is that even an option to consider, looking at the way the welfare thing and everything is going on?
Yeah, well, this nation is ours. We got, enlisted because we love this nation. And we are ready and willing at any time to ensure that this nation survives. I mean, just look at it this way. Nigeria is the biggest or the largest concentration of black people in the whole world. Now, if there's a war, if war breaks out in Nigeria, where do we go to? Where do we go to? So we are willing, but what we are saying is, before we are re-engaged, give us what is due to us. We don't need to start protesting. It is a shame that we had to go on the street to protest when we have the president as one of us. We have the Minister of Defense as one of us. We have the National Security Advisor as one of us. Some members of the Nigerian Parliament, they are our comrades in arms. So I think something is missing somewhere. And I think those in authority must begin to take full responsibility. We don't have to beg for what is legitimately ours. It is constitutional that these things be given to us. We do not need to ask for them. So, I mean, it's so unfortunate, and government must look at this issue. When we had a meeting with the Minister of Defense on Friday, he gave us assurances. The same with the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, they have given us assurances. But we are waiting to see, see it fulfilled, because we do not want to go back on the street